We lost track of it 3 weeks ago when it left the Dominican Republic.
I heard that the beaches in the Dominican Republic are really beautiful.
Usnavi's leaving us for the Dominican Republic?
Did you go to church in the Dominican Republic?
You think it will be different in the Dominican Republic?
Hosting his family in the Dominican Republic at his vacation.
Trinidad Mercantile, Dominican Republic.
Buñito. If I made it back to the Dominican Republic...
Hailing all the way from the Dominican Republic, this young man wowed the organization with his power in spring training.
He is from the Dominican Republic, and he is one incredible ball player.
She'll meet you in the San Andres Harbor in the Dominican Republic, and then you guys can fly to Costa Rica.
Cool.
Well, to do it right, I need to get to the Dominican Republic at least 4 weeks early to train and acclimate to the heat and the humidity, so...
You need 4 weeks for that.
I'm flying to the Dominican Republic next week, and I need to speak to Lafayette in person.
Putting together a new team for the World Championships in the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic is one part of an island.
I doubt they have meatloaf in the Dominican Republic, dear.
So, your mom called, told me to make you this passion fruit and onion tea that she discovered from the Dominican Republic.
He's from the Dominican Republic, and now he pitches for the Swing.
Thank you for guiding him safely on his journey from the Dominican Republic to Bridgetown.
Every 12-year-old kid in the Dominican Republic right now could probably beat Babe Ruth.
It's got to do with getting shot in the Dominican Republic, making democracy safe for Gulf and Western.
Going down to the Dominican Republic, and Jeannie's going to come down here, all right?
Listen, to work in the Dominican Republic.
She was born in the Dominican Republic.
Capital of the Dominican Republic is Santo Domingo.
Tú me quieres decir a mí que tú quieres una mesa para tu mamá, para mandársela a la República.
I'm from the Dominican Republic.
And my dearly beloved Dominican Republic.
Somewhere in love in the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic is one part of an island. Next, we're going to study on the Dominican Republic.
Which became the Dominican Republic.
I'm going back to the Dominican Republic.
In 1904, the Army solved this problem by assigning Captain Young as military attaché to Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
And that I have 13 sons that I provide for in the Dominican Republic.
Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, these are all economically deprived third world nations with large populations.
And my syntax is highly complicated because I immigrated from the single greatest little place in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic!
It might move down south because, like the best baseball players come from Dominican Republic because they play year-round.
Well, it couldn't have been too special to drive those monkeys back into the Dominican Republic. Or that my sons will rot in the hot sun of the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic.
I was born in Dominican Republic.
Hey, yo, my family's from the Dominican Republic.
I'm not going to meet the love of my life windsurfing in the Dominican Republic.
I told you, I'm from the Dominican Republic.
Danny, the Dominican Republic is the easy and the cheapest option for the cartels.
Like, well, me and my family went to the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. It's from Dominican Republic.
Pero mis hijos están con mi mamá en República Dominicana.
I remember that night in the Dominican Republic.
Ella está con sus hijos en la República.
Turk, I was referring to the Dominican Republic, and if you say, isn't that where I bought my wrinkle-free chinos, I may kill you.
The boy, who cannot be named for legal reasons, was located in the Dominican Republic, where it is believed he was on holiday with his family.
The Dominican Republic to get a divorce.
When we left the Dominican Republic, Marco never wanted to learn English.
We are not the intervenors in the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic?
We can be in the Dominican Republic by sunrise.
One call to a diplomat in the Dominican Republic and I can kiss my one shot at freedom goodbye.
Archivo-style death squads in the Dominican Republic over turf.
That's everything I need to start a new life in the Dominican Republic.
We get them each to sign a waiver of appearance, finalize it in the Dominican Republic. That free spirit that was frolicking in the surf on that beach in the Dominican Republic, where is she? I will be in the Dominican Republic getting a divorce.
42-1205, you have a meeting in the Grand Hall to receive diplomatic credentials from the ambassadors of the Dominican Republic and Zambia.
You want to go to the Dominican Republic right now?
Quick trip to the Dominican Republic, and we are all free of each other.
During this time, you must remain resident in the Dominican Republic.
When we were in the Dominican Republic, I felt like we were really connected.
In fact, he is down in the Dominican Republic right now getting a quickie divorce.
I'm like the Dominican Republic, you know?
But they don't tell you when you go to the Dominican Republic.
You done went to the Dominican Republic and got 72 pounds of titties. You can go to the Dominican Republic and come back and nobody in your family will recognize as you wish.
They sent me a Dominican Republic. So they sent me a Dominican Republic.
In the spring of 1965, the United States Marines invaded a Caribbean island called the Dominican Republic.